Hello there, and welcome to episode 3 of this little sub series on my channel called The Daria Reactions. It's a very clever title, I know. I'm Fred. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. What this is, essentially, is for me, it's a rewatch. When Daria first premiered, way back in 1997, that was my freshman year of high school. And Daria was pretty popular back then. I would catch as many episodes as I could when they premiered on Thursday nights. But typically for me, I would, especially in the show's later seasons, I was watching a lot of the episodes on the weekday afternoon reruns before Total Request Live when Carson Daly was hosting that show. In case you can't tell, I'm old. So, um, so I broke my I nearly broke myself with that one. Anyway, so I do remember a lot of the fine details of the show and a lot of the characters, major plot points, things of that sort. Um, and but of course, my memory is not perfect, and as proven last week when I kept confusing the character who would be Tiffany in the Fashion Club with Stacy, who is also in the Fashion Club. And yeah, that was one of the things that was hung up on from last week when we did the commentary reaction and watch through of the invitation. Is that the final member of the fashion club to appear on screen before that group is actually seen officially together was Tiffany, because Stacy and Sandy appeared in Esteemsters, the first episode. So, but I kept calling Tiffany Stacy for whatever reason, and yeah, it. I blame it on the fact that we haven't seen them as a group yet for me to get the full jarring memory. Even though on that chair behind me, I do have the Daria diaries and the Daria database which I can easily use as reference materials to like go through and reaffirm myself with the characters and so forth. And in case you're wondering, because I talked about those books in the first episode, those were published back in 1998, and that's how long they've been in my collection. All right, but I'm trying to pull from my memory here as much as possible without using any additional media or research resources here, so I will get a lot of things wrong. But that's the joy of doing a rewatch and talking about it, and potentially if you guys comment on it, and I will try. If you do comment on any of the videos for these reactions, I will do my best to either respond to them in the comment section or uh, use them as part of the intro in a future episode here, or have a whole topic discussion set aside for it based on any comments that were left. So anyway, so hey, YouTube likes us to encourage interactions of sorts, and beyond just saying like and subscribe or dislike and subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all reaction videos. They're all the same. It's engagement, and YouTube likes seeing that. Anyway, of course, the footage and everything is going to be mostly blurred. You will barely, if at all, hear any of the audio from it. I am doing my absolute best to ensure that this is a transformative work to quite honestly, to make sure that we don't piss off CBS, CBS, Paramount, or Viacom, or whatever the hell the name that their corporate conglomerate is, because it changes like every 5-10 years or so, and I'm not going. And I'm beyond caring and knowing what their official name is at this point in time. I just know that they own Daria and that they own Star Trek. So, but this is a full transformative work for commentary and reaction purposes. Hence, again, why we got the heavy blur filter going. So with that said, let's get to it, shall we? Well, la 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 la. I know I talked about it last week, but anytime Jake opens his mouth when for dialogue and just showing his bottom teeth still irks the hell out of me. Granted, there are other characters in the show that is also a trait, but it just for me gives the visual that Jake had all of his upper teeth knocked out at some point. Is that headcanon? No, it's not headcanon. It's just the impression that I get. You can hang out with Ramona. Ramona's 3. Oh, I remember this scene. The Ramona blows her nose on Quinn's jeans, doesn't she? Socially. And there's nothing wrong with that, right, honey? That's... Come on, please tell me I'm right. I think this is the scene. And I was right. There are certain scenes that will stand the test of time. That was one of them. What is she reading now? My first SAT study guide. Okay, so this is the whole preparation for college thing, and I have no experience with that. True story, I was basically discouraged from thinking about college because my father wanted me to enlist in the Army, and you can guess how well that worked out. It'll save me the trouble of moving back in later. Long story short, it didn't. Daria, if you don't get into a decent school, your life will be ruined. Jay kind of freaked out about the idea of Daria just moving back home and living with him and Helen. It was a bit of an overreaction, but it's quite understandable considering it was Jake. Today's admission standards are more rigorous than ever, which is where does she have to go? What is up with Jody's hair? Okay. Topic 1. No, seriously, Jody, and I think I mentioned this in the in the invitation. When you get a multiple choice question, you can usually Jody's braids. I remember them looking much thicker, and them looking very thin. Okay. Like just pencil line thin. Just. It's just quite jarring with me. Maybe she got a character redesign at some point, but I don't remember. Unless I remember her look wrong. Try cross dresser. Thanks, man. I owe you one. The goal of the worksheet is to help you focus on what you want out of college. Okay. When you get a multiple choice. Kevin clearly got it wrong. He's the little man on campus. Oh, wait, nope. Now he's the big man on campus, the BMOC. And that's not Brittany in his fantasy about college life. Where did you get them? Oh, it was nothing. My high school girlfriend sent them to me. Well, this is the first instance of Kevin being a jerk. And here's something regarding Brittany that's kind of interesting. The whole miscongeniality style of like wanting to graduate from college. She is quite forward thinking there. And not knowing, she does get a bit of revenge on Kevin considering what his fantasy was. This is all quite amazing. How could you afford such a space in New York? I used the money my parents saved for college. Brilliant. That totally seems like a Jane move there. Hey, this must be the new roommate. Guys, excellent. The new roommate. Howdy, roommate. Hi. Okay. Best man wins. Yes, Quinn wants guys fighting over her, but boy, could that be misconstrued. Daria, I know it's only the first week of freshman year, but I wonder if you'd consider transferring to the graduate school. I'm not sure I want to be a professional student. But I don't want you to study. I want you to teach. Well... Not here, of course, on our Paris campus. Oh, okay. Daria's... Superb! Now I can use your dorm room to carry on affairs with some of the more beautiful undergraduates. Thank you.
How come even in my fantasies everyone's a jerk?
Daria's dream of college life or daydream was a bit weird.
Money well spent.
That granted, that's a little bit of her low self-esteem there to an extent, like being admired for her intelligent stuff, like and one says, "Hey, we want you to teach." But then her looks coming back into play. That's the first instance of Daria's alleged low self-esteem being showed. And I am not even going to comment on Quinn saying that she has a date of sorts with the instructor of that prep class.
We get to pick the college, and no one said you could come.
But Quinn, your father and I would love it if you kids followed in our footsteps.
We're walking?
Granted, I said Quinn is clever, but there are times where she's not. La 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 la. Middleton College, established 1776.
Gosh, the old place has hardly changed a bit. Hey, my man. Toss me that disc, dude. Get a life. Cool. Whatever. Maybe
Jake
next time.
Clearly
College punks.
Showing is
I'm your tour guide, Heather.
not quite recapturing that college spirit.
Hey, Heather. What's up?
No, wait, he is showing middle-aged, midlife crisis type stuff. I'm glad I haven't hit my midlife crisis yet. I say, even as I have about 120 Funkos right behind me.
What a bunch of stiffs they must have been, eh, girls? Damn it! I'll kill you, college scum!
Yeah, again, Jake trying to be hip and being with it, and his middle age is showing.
What? Hey, I think you're right. Come on, let's go take a look at the old cell. We got time before we go see the purser.
They missed.
I'm sure we'd only get in the way.
What the hell was with the gargoyle stones thing?
The historical meeting place of that sounds really interesting. Which historic street are all the fraternities on?
My sister wants to study group psychology. Right.
Yeah, group psychology. Really, Quinn?
Last college.
Aren't you a Theta pledge?
Well, yes. Yes, I am.
Then you'd better get over there and help clean the house steps, or the Council of Ancients will give you a noodle whipping you won't soon forget. A whipping. It's nice that they keep some of the old
Ay.
I was just directing these girls to the hair and nail salon.
There is something
You're excused. But make it
really weird.
No, ma'am.
Good luck, pledge.
Really weird about Quinn wanting to think about fraternities
Listen, Daria.
and
I don't
sororities.
stop you from reading. Don't stop me from this.
Oh
She's
boy,
God's problem now, kid. Let's get out of here. This place gives me the creeps.
totally. Yeah, less said about that, the better.
It smells like your old room.
Hey, guys,
It's clearly Jake's old room.
You know, I think this might have been my crib when I went here. It's crib now, right?
Jake, please stop. Stop trying to be hip.
We're just gonna
Be yourself, dude. Be yourself.
Refreshing to see someone doing schoolwork.
Actually, I'm sending an erotic letter to a female inmate I met on the internet. I think she's female.
Remember when I used to walk through the courtyard? You and all the other guys would lean out the window and shout obscene comments.
What obscene comments could Jake have been yelling?
Quinn!
Oh, good. Realizing that Quinn is
Under control.
on her own.
Hey, can any of you dudes tell me how to get to the bursar's office? Okay, no problem. I'll find it myself.
Yep, good luck, Jake. Next time on Six Sad World.
Pretty much.
Real life reference. Oh, wait, no, that's what's the real world.
Begging your parents for money.
Heather?
My psych term paper. Finally.
Ordering-
Nobody respects deadlines anymore.
Ordering test papers to be written for you.
You paid somebody to write this for you?
It was a collaboration. My part was to say how long it should be and when it was due.
But the first paragraph.
Commission work is
How much
is
did
what
you
it
pay for
is.
this?
$50.
I can fix this for you for $10.
Really? Great.
Wow. You know anything about the English Civil War? How about Renaissance painting?
What I don't know, I can
At least-
fake. But
At least
cash only.
Daria is being
I can
admired for
take
her
checks from
intelligence.
college students.
And she knows how to get a good hustle going.
She looks a lot like me. Some people say sisters even. Of course, I was
Helen,
thinking
nobody
of
would
mother.
confuse you and Quinn for being sisters ever.
How old do you think I am?
I don't really, I...
43, that is. In 5 years, I'll be 43. See,
Yeah,
like
sure,
only
she's gonna be
yesterday
43 in
I was
5
partying
years.
with the best of them. I was
Not with that hairdo.
wild. Still am when I feel like it. But you're a college man. You probably know all about that.
I'm just a freshman and we're not really supposed to. I get headaches sometimes because I'm like allergic to things. And I sort of have to go now. Bye.
Well, if you see
Helen
her,
just crashed and burned.
college punk.
And
I just can't figure out.
Helen's
what all
having
this
her
is painful.
her midlife crisis moment there.
Many of our parents experience similar sticker shock, if I may.
Dude looks like a used car
That's
salesman.
why I refer a lot of our parents to this institution. It's not a bank, but a family business that understands families. They can set you up with a cash loan on very agreeable terms.
What's this address?
It's a candy store. That's their business. They sell candy and make loans. Oh, and haul trash.
It's a
They got a
loan
variety
shark.
of interests,
It's
actually.
very
Big
suspect.
fans of ponies, Jake.
Oh, it's a gambling establishment of sorts. All right, what?
Okay, look, I'm not going to rewrite this paper for you, but I will give you a couple of tips that will help you rewrite it. First, the book title, Sons and Lovers, does not have an apostrophe in it. Anywhere.
Wow, she looks stoned.
Second, unless your ex-boyfriend is an authority on D.H. Lawrence, don't base your thesis on something he said while making out.
That's good
What about
advice
something
there.
you said when we broke up.
No.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. And good luck with the doctorate.
You seem
She'll
pretty
easily
comfortable
get her
with brain
doctorate, no
dead.
problem.
So let's go to a party.
Hey, Daria's invited to a party 2 episodes in a row.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I trouble you for your underwear?
Say what?
Your panties.
What?
May I have them?
Why, you little bastard. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. Are you in a fraternity?
Yes, ma'am. Sigma Stigmata, a.k.a. Sigma Your Mama.
Sigma your mama?
This is a prank, isn't it?
Sort of, ma'am. See, it's a stigmata tradition to fly a Middleton woman's panties from our flagpole.
You guys.
But since the house moved off campus, we found that student panties aren't big enough to be seen from the quad. I've been observing you now. I think you're...
Hold off and slap him! Slap him! Slap him!
I'll do the trick to you, you little twerp. And your brothers, too. Frat geek.
Helen!
We'll settle for her wanting to chase him down and beat the crap out of him.
No.
What's happened?
Tuition, crippling expense. Maybe we can just send one of them to college. Quinn, go to beauty school.
Jake?
Jake is thinking ahead.
Right now, we don't even
You
know,
know,
who they are.
send Daria to college and Quinn to beauty school.
Let's go.
You know, he's thinking ahead. There's
Buzz?
We're parents. Now, police, good. Missing daughters, bad.
You're right. Those poor
Jake is
kids are
quite,
probably
you
scared
know,
to death.
coherent and smart and focused when he's like trying to catch his breath.
But I will give you a couple of tips so you can play. As you go around counting off, for every number that has a 3 in it, or has a multiple of 3, you say zoom. Every multiple of 7...
Quinn is in a frat house.
Can't we just play the one with a quarter?
But you look so cute when you say funny words. Besides, shouldn't you be saving your quarters for taking us out?
1, 2,
Yeah.
zoom.
Good.
That's weird. Keg Queen.
They've chosen the Keg Queen. It's a huge honor.
She's like a freshman in high school.
Wait a minute. That's no queen. That's my sister. She doesn't even have a learner's permit.
Well, at least the cops show up with Jake and Helen.
They made me their queen.
Thank goodness.
Isn't it great?
I think now would be a good time to teach Quinn a lesson about personal responsibility.
Young lady, as the elder sister, I hold you partially to blame.
What did Daria do?
I stayed with the tour guide.
Hi.
Daria was the responsible one.
Yes, officer. Thank you for your help.
They appear to be underage, sir.
Well, of course they're under.
Don't worry, Daddy. I have ID.
We have strict rules about minors at fraternity parties. I'm afraid I'm going to have to escort you all off the campus immediately.
But
Don't make me use the cuffs, Mr. Morgendorfer.
Use the cuffs. Use the cuffs.
You certainly cannot.
then can we have your underwear?
You son of a...
Okay.
Well, Helen justified there.
Let's all talk about our college experiences.
My big brothers stripped me naked and covered me with molasses and left me in the middle of a field at night. It was awesome.
I had a good time too. I walked
Weird.
into the student center and these kids were reading poetry. Then they let me make up some of my own, and they were really interested in my feelings and thoughts and stuff.
That sounds stupid.
Shut up, naked boy.
Brittany wins that argument.
About the first ring exemption.
Hey, it's Mac. And Jody's hair is much darker here.
All right.
See, I knew I wasn't imagining things or remembering stuff
Can I please
wrong.
have my money back now?
Oh, and you too. How did you like the famous Middleton College?
Daria got us thrown out.
I got us thrown out. I beg to differ, Keg Queen.
Keg Queen?
Yep.
Can I have your autograph?
Dream on, naked boy.
Whoa, wait a minute. You got thrown out at Middleton? I just can't understand you kids sometimes. In my day, we had a little something called respect.
In his day,
or is this like personal?
what day was that? 1980?
Thrown out of college without enrolling first. I'm damn proud of you.
Most people can get thrown out of college without enrolling.
Booming. I have 2 econ problem sets and a paper on Kerouac that I have to get to the delivery guy by 9 p.m. And then I quit.
But you're just getting started.
I already feel burnt out on college, and I'm still in high school.
Yep. College life is too hard to think about.
What happened?
Nothing. Only somebody in this family turned out to be college material.
Quinn was accepted to Manatee College in Florida.
Remember those stupid worksheets we had to fill out for that course?
Well, there's a bit of a payoff there.
So proud of you, honey.
Manatee. It sounds kind of European, don't you think?
Nope.
Did you guys read this letter?
Yes, and it says right there that she's in.
Yeah, with the
At bottom,
repetition.
It also says Manatee College has no classes but offers beachfront accommodations at a cost of $10,000 per semester.
That's even better than we thought, right, Dad?
Give me that.
10,000 a semester?
Hi, sir. This is something for your daughter, Daria. She wrote a paper for me.
And she made you pay in cash.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Good girl.
Jake.
What?
Hi, ma'am. Remember me?
Oh boy. I was hoping that Helen will haul off on him.
By the way, do you mind paying for this? I'm broke.
What happened to all your paper writing money?
My mom wouldn't let me keep it. She said it was wrong to encourage cheaters and to profit from them.
So, she's giving up being a lawyer?
I asked her that, and I'm sure someday we'll once again be on speaking terms.
All in all, then, the whole college experience kind of sucked.
Pretty much.
It's
Does that
kind of...
mean these are the best years of our lives?
Yes, high school is the best years of everyone's lives.
I should have known Daria was right about that making out scholarship.
Again, the less said about this, the better.
But you've got to admit, there are some pretty
Making
choice
out
moves.
college scholarship. Okay, all right. So, obviously, less commentary stuff there. There were certain things that stood out to me here. The running gag with Quinn. Quinn is at least smart enough to know when when things are suspect. All right, she is smart enough to know that. There, hence that she throws a drink in the college prep course instructor's face. But the fact that that character is like you have all these like clearly older dudes, people who are adults, like 18 and older, pursuing Quinn is like really skeezy at well it's I can almost guarantee you when you if Daria was being remade today that particular part of the show would not be as much as the forefront as it was, at least particularly in this episode. And thankfully for the most part, if memory serves me right, Quinn does stick. It's mostly the three J's that that are primarily the Quinn's like romantic focus of sorts, with a couple of other dudes popping up here and there, if memory serves me right. But yeah, that was something about this episode that bothered me a lot, to be quite frankly. Daria getting a little side hustle as relates to because of how smart she is, and also shows that she has some street smarts there. Sees an opportunity to do some commission work, earn some extra cash. And the fact that Jake was proud of her for she wrote she wrote a paper for you, made you pay it in cash. Good girl, great comment there. And also Jake, with how focused he is and how concerned he is. Granted, he is out of breath and freaking out over the cost of sending both Daria and Quinn to college. Crippling debt, as we all know, with student loans and stuff for those who have gone to college and are struggling with those student loans and such. Obviously, still a topical thing here. Granted, those loans were even talked about as relates to this episode. But it's that was a concern. It's like how the cost of actually going to college, and it's like you're either going to be taking on a ton of debt, or you're just going to like hope for the best and try to make the best of a career with what you got out of high school. As I'm have constantly been struggling to do it throughout my whole life. Because again, as mentioned, as like I was basically not encouraged to think about pursuing a college education and was more focused on like a very failed military stint. Thanks, Dad. Uh, but I thought the tour guide was a great okay, if you could see Daria in a college setting and with her being a little bit more open, you could almost see like the college tour guide as being like, okay, how Daria would potentially be. It's like hence why those two characters clicked quite well. In at least in my personal opinion. And Helen's little encounters with the college dudes, one wanting to run her garments up the proverbial flagpole because they are quote unquote big enough to be seen off campus, is again I was hoping for her to slap him. We'll settle for the fact that she had murderous intent, but it's like we here do not condone physical violence, but for the purposes of comedy, we will allow it and encourage it because sometimes it is funny as all hell. Also, obviously, Jodie's hair design, because there's a shot early in the episode with her with those very thin, with her braids being very, very thin, as almost like being drawn as strands of hair, and then later on, her braids are clearly thicker, and that's what I remember her of having is the thicker hair design. So, granted, it's like you have both looks appear. She appears in 3 distinct shots. And in two of those shots, she has the thicker braids, so maybe somebody realized that it did not look right in the production of this episode. We'll see. We'll see. That's gonna be like the thing. It's like this how inconsistent Jodie's hair is going forward. Because I knew I was right that she had the like her hair being her braids being thicker. Obviously, Kevin, his fantasy of what he thought college life would be like, first the little man on campus and the big man on campus, and then clearly wanting, mocking Brittany in his own fantasy that she would send him flowers while he's hitting it up with uh, a college beauty. Says a lot about him to a large degree. And Brittany, as well as like she does envision herself as graduating from college. Granted, again, like with a more miscongeniality, beauty queen style of ceremony and such. Um, but at least she has that ambition, which is quite telling for her. And also the fact that she was like, okay, if Kevin is still pining for her, that she would have him arrested and thrown out, like of her reaching like a peak academic success for her is also quite telling about her. And granted, Brittany is in the right. I mean, Brittany, I remember for a fact, Brittany does not really get like many moments to appear smart, but the fact that she has those ambitions and this episode shows that to some extent she does take her education seriously. It says a lot about her character. Jane does not get a lot to do. She gets like the great line about. She gets a couple of great lines regarding it's like I got a place to be. Well, TV is a place. Well, it's where's the TV? It's in front of you, and what's in front of you? That's a place. Like that's the place where the TV is. It's in front of me. And also the line about it's like how could you afford such a spacious loft in New York? Well, simple. I used the money that my parents were saving for me to go to college. Which, considering, again, this episode was like aired in like 1997, which would have been just about right before things up in the Big Apple got a little bit ridiculous with how with rent controls and stuff. Granted, New York, at least in my lifetime, has always been considered to be a very expensive place to live, even back in the mid late 90s. But you could Jane could have rented a studio apartment for a fair as like a probably reasonable amount back then. Not so much now, but take that for what it's worth there. Um, Anything else that is coming to mind here? Obviously I just rewatched this episode, but I think that just about covers it. It's a very good episode and certainly quite topical. Uh, Granted, again, it's like in terms of my own high school experience, I didn't do any of the college prep courses or anything of that sort. So it's like I was not encouraged to do so. It was so sadly I can't relate to that part of the subplot beyond just like okay what the characters are doing. Um, so that is what it is there. So with that said, thank you very much for hanging out here, watching, and everything of that sort. Leave your comments and everything regarding the episode 3 of Daria in the comment section below. And then hopefully we'll either talk about them in the intro for a future episode, or we'll end up doing an entire video with different Daria discussions at some point. Again, so it's like again for me to do those things, we need y'all to comment and so forth about the episode. Anyway, with that said, tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe, watch your hang down. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.